kindergartners, it's Mrs. Ott, and it's time for today's interactive read aloud. Today we're going to be reading the story, Harold Finds a Voice. This is the next book in our text set 19, Learning How to Be Yourself. What kind of animal do you think Harold is? Looks like a big bird, doesn't he? It's very colorful. Oh, and I think I forgot to tell you who the author and illustrator is. The author and illustrator are the same person, and it's Courtney Dickmas. Well, let's read together to find out about Harold finding his voice. You predicted that Harold was a bird, which is correct, but he is a parrot. And do you know that parrots are birds that can learn to say words and other sounds? So we're going to find out what Harold can say and how he finds his own special voice. Deep in the heart of Paris, in apartment 4B, there lived a very clever parrot. His name was Harold. Harold was a gifted bird. Okay, so look at all the different things Harold does. So we see up here it says ring, 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 but doesn't look like it's coming from the alarm clock. It looks like it's coming from Harold. And we see Harold next to the coffee pot, which is a percolator, and it says burble, 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 which is the sound that this coffee pot makes. He could hear any sound just once and copy it perfectly. So he goes, boing, like the blender. Goal. Furs, furs, furs. Ding. Oh, that's funny. When Harold heard something beautiful, he simply couldn't resist the urge to repeat it. Vroom, vroom. He loved the sound of water most. Shh, flush, whoosh, whoosh. So water makes different noise depending on where it is. There was only one problem. Harold was tired of repeating the same old noises. Hello, 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 hello. He often wondered what other sounds were out there. Early one morning, Harold saw a chance to find out and took it. So what does that mean? He saw a chance to find out. We see that his human is sleeping. And how do you think he's going to take the chance? I think he escaped. Harold couldn't believe his ears. The world was full of beautiful sounds. Everything had its own voice. Honk, beep, beep, honk. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Honk, vroom, chop, 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 chop. Flap, flip, flip, flap, flip, flap. There were big voices. Ooh. And small ones. Chloop. There were cheerful voices. Plunk-a, plunk-a, plunk, plunk-a, plunk. And sad voices. Ooh-dee-doo-doo, ooh-doo. And even soulful, sniffly voices. Sniff, 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 sniff. It seemed that everything in the world had its own voice, except Harold. I must have my own voice, he thought. It's got to be in there somewhere. It's now or never, he decided. He took a deep breath and... rock! What was that? What a horrible noise! But then something wonderful happened. Flap, rock, flip, flap, rock, 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 flip, flap. Friends, what is happening? It looks like he's meeting other parrots. What a great voice, squawked the other parrots. We heard you from miles away. Bravo! Clap, 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 clap. That afternoon, Harold's new friends listened to all of the voices he could make. They wanted to hear more and more and more. When it was time for dinner, Harold invited them back home. Harold taught his friends to make all the voices from apartment 4B. Of course, Harold was still the best alarm clock. He made the best kettle noise. He was easily the best washing machine. And he was the best shower. Okay, so let's look at all the noises that these birds are learning to make. Ding, shh, ring, ring, hello, goal, flush, whoosh, whoosh, frizz, frizz, wee, burble, vroom. Look at the human. The girl's laughing. I love how colorful the illustrations are here. Rock, but his own voice made him happiest of all. Okay, boys and girls, that was a very cool story. What is the problem that Harold has? He is tired of repeating the same noises. How does he solve this problem? Yeah, he leaves home. He discovers new noises, including his own voice. Where does Harold live? He lives in Paris, France. And we saw the Eiffel Tower in one of the pictures, and that is a symbol of Paris. There it was. This right here is a symbol of Paris. So what is Paris like? It is a big city with lots of buildings, people, and noises. So we saw that when he left his home and went outside, that it was very busy out there. And he heard new noises he'd never heard before. How does Harold feel at the beginning of the story? Yeah, he was bored and curious. He wanted to know about other noises. And he wanted his own voice. How does he feel at the end? He feels happy and confident. That means he's confident in himself. He's happy with everything too. How does he change? He learns he has a great voice of his own, even though at first he wasn't so sure about it. He learns he has a great voice. What do you think the author wants you to learn from reading this book? The author wants you to know that everyone has a special voice. You have a special voice, and even the parrot in this book has a special voice. What are your favorite sounds from this story? Is this story a fiction story or a nonfiction story? Yeah, it's fiction because it has animals that talk and have feelings like people. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story today. Harold finds a voice.